Welcome to Your Creative Midlife, Nantucket Edition. I'm Betsy Bush. One thing I'm learning on Nantucket is that many people here have multiple roles, especially in the summer when there is so much going on. Two of my guests today are year-round residents doing important work on the island, but as you'll hear, they're also part of activities that are unique to Nantucket. That allows them, as well as summer visitors, to enjoy doing things that are fun and creative. One is the community theater group On the Isle, another Nantucket Edition episode. This time, we're talking to the Shanty Singers, who sing traditional sea shanties that might have been heard on Nantucket whaling ships back in the day. We're talking to three of them here in the studio, then we'll join the group on the Minke that goes out on a Shanty Harbor cruise every Tuesday evening in season.
All the way the bowling hall. All the way the bowling, we'll bowl along together. All the way the bowling hall.
And I'm so happy to have the three of you here. Why don't you introduce yourselves and give us a little snapshot of what you're about? Tom, why don't we start with you?
Oh, thank you, Betsy. Thanks for having us. Yes, I'm Tom Laughlin, and I am here in Nantucket. We have a home in Sconset. I'm from Washington, D.C. I joined the Shanty group 3 years ago. I'm the only person in the group who is not a full-time resident of Nantucket. So, they can throw me overboard anytime I miss a note, and nobody will miss me. But why don't I hand it off to Jack?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jack Bulger, and I am a year-rounder. Been a year-rounder. Well, I've been calling the island my home since the early 90s. I am a Massachusetts native, but if you weren't born here, you're always a wash ashore. And I am pleased to be part of the Shanty Singers on the Minke every Tuesday night in the summertime. It's a blast to get out there and bob around in the water and sing some songs and maybe even have an adult libation while you're out there as well.
Sounds like fun. Pam?
I'm Pam Murphy. I live in Sconset. Been out there 35 years. And, singing on the Minke for sunset every Tuesday night is pretty much one of the highlights of our week, I have to say. We all enjoy it a lot. We're all three involved in theater. Actually, I think there's 6 of us all together, and all 6 of us are involved in local theater. So we kind of like attention, I guess.
Well, it's the sort of thing that it's hard for me to imagine happening in Washington or New York. It's such a Nantucket thing. I think we get so wrapped up in this whaling ship heritage traditions that we have. Can somebody talk about what the shanty was? What is a shanty song?
Well, most of the songs we sing are, in fact, American sea shanties. They were originated in the early 1800s as a way to centralize and organize brute force, human muscle power, because this was before diesel engines, before electricity. Everything that had to come on to the boat from the dock was done by manpower. And, weighing the anchor, lifting the anchor off the seabed. All of the labor had to be organized and synchronized, and the way they found to do this very effectively is to sing a song. You'd have the person calling out whatever the chore was, raise the anchor, and then everybody would join in synchronicity. And so it was a very effective way to do that.
And where did the tunes come from? And they're tunes that have kind of lived on. I think of What Shall We Do with the Drunken Sailor, which was one of those songs I sang around the campfire. I don't know if that's in your repertoire or just what?
We sing that pretty much every night when we're coming into the dock. And we get some smiles from the people on the docks. A lot of them were made, as I mentioned before, specifically because of a certain task that the people were going to be doing, raising the anchor or lifting the barge or whatever it would be. But a lot of songs do live on, and people recognize many of our tunes.
You're talking about like the anchor. What about were there any specific to whaling?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't do many songs having to do with whaling, because one of our members is a huge animal rights activist, and so we kind of culled that out of the repertoire.
Okay, Pam, I think that's your cue.
Over to me, I guess. Yeah. Well, I didn't know that's why we didn't sing those, but we don't. So well, we do sing Wellerman, which does entail whaling a bit. What Jack's referring to is I am the executive director of the Marine Mammal Alliance Nantucket. And what we do is we rescue marine mammals around Nantucket. We're the ones that are responsible. We're the ones that are authorized to do that. So basically we protect them from any interaction with people or vehicles. We disentangle animals that get tangled up in fishing gear and other marine debris. And I guess that's why.
I think a lot of the music, though, as well, is really about sailors, or the stories behind the shanties are about sailors and the homes they've left behind, or the homes that they're longing for. Some are more sad and some are more humorous. It could be about the girl they've left behind or the girl that they long to get back to in a lot of the cases. So there's a spectrum of different songs, but about sea life.
Sure, and we know from Nantucket, the Nantucket whaling experience, sailors were gone for 3 and 4 years.
Very different lifestyle. Yeah, you signed on and you didn't know when you were coming back.
Yeah. If you would come back. Yeah. Where did the tunes come from? Jack, you said they were American tunes, but aren't there like Irish antecedents to a lot of those?
Absolutely. It's a folk type music, so all music builds on what came before. There were a lot of folk music styles that came from the British Isles and Ireland and Scotland and even different parts of Europe. In this country, we remember there was agricultural songs that, kind of mimic the shanties. Instead of being on the water, you're in the fields. So, yeah, there's a lot of styles of folk music, and the American sea shanty is one of them.
I'm wondering what kind of background as singers do you have? Are you trained singers? Are you?
Well, I always tell people I can't sing well, but I can sing loud.
I'm sure that's reassuring.
Which helps out on the open water. No, I'm not a trained singer. I sang in a glee club during college and always enjoyed singing. And that's pretty much my singing background.
Yeah, well, that's it, is finding something you enjoyed earlier in life and finding, hey, there's a place for me. There's a place for me there. Yeah.
Anybody can sing. Most of us can sing. I don't know. Do you have any training, Jack? You sound like you do.
Well, I did chorus in high school. I did choir when I was a youngster in church. Sing well in the shower. And I've always enjoyed music, really enjoyed music, but I've never really been in a band or anything, except for, in high school. But yeah, when I started getting back into acting about 15 years ago, seems like there's always musicals going on, and if you're in a musical, you got to sing. So, you try to get better and you go from there.
We started doing this with the Shipwreck Museum a number of years ago. We were asked to sing sea shanties and interspersed with shipwreck stories, like real shipwrecks that happened off the coast of Nantucket. And then we'd sing some shanties, and then we'd tell another story. And it was a fundraiser at the Shipwreck Museum. We did it for several years in a row. And then some of you, Jack, I think, and a few others did the Moby Dick Rehearsed, which also included shanties. So when my friend Rachel, who has the boat that we sing on, the Minke at Nantucket by Water, I went out on it the first time I went out on it, and I came back and I'm like, Rach, you need some Shanty Singers, and she's like, that's a great idea. Do you know any? And I'm like, yeah, I can put together a shanty group, and that was pretty easy because everybody was like, yo, we'll do that sunset cruise every Tuesday night in the summer. Why not?
So what is the response to the passengers, people who take that evening cruise with you? Or do they enjoy it? Do they sing along? What's it like?
Well, we always give them an out in the beginning. Jack will explain what shanties are, what we're going to do, and we let them know they can either sing along if they want to, they can applaud if they want to, they can completely ignore us if they want to. And I think we get a little bit of each. It just depends on the mood they're in and why they're there.
Y'all ready to go? Yeah. We've got improving conditions, the wind's calming down, so it should be very pretty.
It's a fine evening to be going out onto the harbor on the Minke. We have our Shanty Singers, Tom, Jack, and Pam, joined by Pete Sendelbach and Jenny Gifford. Tonight, the passengers are an extended family from India staying on Nantucket for the week.
We have a beautiful spot here on Nantucket Harbor, and you're going to see a lot of beautiful sights, so we hope you enjoy the trip.
And if you have a song that, from India that you'd like to share, that would be so awesome.
Great.
From all the sea labor we do.
Yeah. Any song will do. If there's a song.
No, it's a pretty joyous thing in the first place, and people are getting on the boat. Rachel does a wonderful job of running the boat and running the operation. You're out on Nantucket Harbor, which is just beautiful, beautiful sights. And you're out there to watch the sunset, and just seeing the sun dip below the horizon there on the ocean is incredible. And then we help set a mood, and people will join in, sometimes more lively than others. But generally, we'll get people to join in, and it's, as I said, it's just kind of a joyous time out there.
Heave away, bullies, you perish rig bones.
Way, roll and go.
Take your hands from your pockets and don't suck your thumbs to me.
Rollickin' randy dandy-o.
Roust her up, bullies, the wind's drawing free.
Way, roll and go.
Let's get the glad rags on and drive her to the sea to me.
Rollickin' randy dandy-o.
Way, roll and go.
Rollickin' randy dandy-o.
There's a whole dimension to Nantucket that a lot of people don't realize unless they've been out on the water and toured around the harbor and experienced that. And I always encourage people, you definitely want to get out on a boat and around the island while you're here.
Yeah, and this is a great way to do it. We always we have some friends that are liveaboards in the summertime. They live out on their boats, and so it's always fun to go by their boat and sing to them. They'll come out and sing along or wave. So you don't know they're out there unless you get out on the water and you can see all the different types of boats. And it's not just the big mega yachts that are pulled up at the docks. It's the real boats that are out there on the moorings.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know that term, the liveaboards. Mm-hmm. So that's fun. I like that.
Well, we've had wash-ashores and we've had liveaboards.
This is all. It's a beautiful, calm evening on Nantucket Harbor, and the Minke glides past other boats.
Betsy, right behind you is one of the liveaboards we talked about. Not the one close by, but the other one over there.
We wave to them, and they wave back. It's funny being here on Nantucket and having so much of that heritage as part of the attraction, right? The beautiful whaling museum that we have, and I'm sometimes amazed at the industry and the ingenuity of folks back then to put everything together to make the barrels, the ropes, the build the ships, the sails, all the aspects that went into that whaling industry. And at its height, Nantucket was at the heart of it and was one of the most was one of the wealthiest cities in the places in the U.S. And how quickly it went away. Maybe there are lessons there for all of us, right? When something just, and that's why it's preserved the way it is, because there was just this sudden cutoff, and there wasn't an evolution to another industry until tourism came along, if I understand it right.
Well, I think it was kind of a perfect storm of the whale population collapsing, the Civil War occurring, the California gold rush attracting a lot of people away, in a short window of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was an enormous fire in Nantucket where the center of the town burnt to the ground.
Right.
All these things happening
And then
in a short period.
Oil
really
was
decimated.
discovered, right?
Right.
And you could take it out of the ground. You didn't need to hunt whales to get the kerosene or something that was flammable that could light your candles and your lanterns and all the other things we're discovering. Then we catch sight of the tall ship Lynx, a recreation of an early 19th century square topsail schooner. There are crew members way up in the rigging, and the breeze is catching the flags flying. We sing them a shanty as we pass by.
Fare thee well, my pretty young gal, and we're bound for the Rio Grande.
Farewell to Sally.
So ends a beautiful evening on the Minke. Many thanks to the Shanty Singers Tom Laughlin, Jack Bulger, Pam Murphy, Jenny Gifford, and Pete Sendelbach. And a big thank you to Minke owner Rachel Perkins of Nantucket by Water.
'Tis advertised in Boston, New York, and Buffalo. 500 brave Americans are wailing for to go, singing, blow ye winds in the morning, blow ye winds, hi-ho! Clear away your running gear and blow, boys, blow. They take you to New Bedford, that famous whaling port, and hand you to some land sharks to board and fit you out, singing, blow ye winds in the morning, blow ye winds, hi-ho!
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, rate, and review, and catch up with us and all our episodes on our website, yourcreativemidlife.com.